Mr. Pasha, China has been using the rare earth minerals as a strategic tool repeatedly, but America couldn't do it, India couldn't do it, or say, for example, Japan or Australia couldn't do it. It was their problem, and maybe it was their strategic failure. But now, since they have decided to counter China on this front, do you think that there's going to be like a major escalation because of this rare earth minerals, and which is why zones like Jammu Kashmir's Riyasi or POK will become so vulnerable in the coming days then?
See, first of all, America doesn't have control. It is a net importer of rare earth minerals. Neither has Japan, nor in any other country. Only Russia, China, and some small Latin American countries have this rare earth minerals. So now that they are found in Kashmir, this is going to be a very major factor in American quest for search for rare earth minerals, and that is how they have now utilized the ceasefire to propose to both the countries through Quad, joint pressure from America to Japan to Australia. It is not a bilateral agreement between India and America. It is a quadrilateral agreement. And all of these four countries would be investing, and Pakistan also would be a willing partner through American influence over Islamabad. But my worry is, this is of course a legitimate concern in the background of what China has done. China has used its rare earth mineral strategy because it has monopoly over it. It has invested long time back, and that has proved to be a very effective tool. But now America is scouting all over the world. But Jammu and Kashmir, from our strategic point of view, our hostile relations with China is concerned, the American companies are going to invest, and they are going to be physically involved in such a big scale, because these mountains are very rugged and tough mountains, and you need a lot of equipment, a lot of roads, connectivity and infrastructure and all. It will take years. And these roads, these high altitude mountains, could be a tough issue, and they would like to have airstrips also, if we agree to airlift equipment, because they cannot take deep inside the Himalaya mountains this heavy equipment. So Hercules C-130 will be used. So they need airstrips, which they will expand later on. From their point of view, American point of view, in addition to what Pakistan can offer as airfields and air bases to the Americans in their future war with China, if they want. So this Kashmir also offers an excellent base facilities for them in the guise of searching for rare earth minerals, and it is very close to the border. As it is, Pakistan has given a chunk of Kashmir to China, and after 370 abrogation, they have been raising their eyebrows, Chinese, about Ladakh being part, and so on and so forth. So, and more importantly, they tried to overthrow the Islamic Republic regime in Iran, and tried to prevent export of Iranian oil to China. But that did not happen, and they wanted to use Iran to cut the Chinese BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, and all the connectivity the Chinese have built over the last 10, 15 years, like gas pipeline, oil pipeline, rail links, road links, and whole lot of infrastructure. They have virtually tied Central Asia to China. Export hundreds and thousands of trains, trucks pass through. So they could not, because of Iranian capability, they could not. So now they have found an alternative by ceasefire between India and Pakistan in the guise of rare earths, which of course is a legitimate concern if they have found it. I have no authentic information, but and under the guise of this search for rare minerals, they will build airstrips which they will expand, and in times of war and threat, they can use it in addition to the facilities. They can, soft underbelly of China it was very easy from Jammu and Kashmir to knock out bulk of the Chinese capability, nuclear capability, and so on and so forth. It will be easy for them to enter
But
through this corridor.
right. But this signing of the critical rare earth minerals initiative, it actually brings out the lies spoken by the Indian government on Operation Sindhu. And does it not prove Donald Trump correct when he said that it was the trade deal we were doing because of which the ceasefire was gotten? So the point is that has this the signing of the rare mineral earth initiative, does it have a strong connection with the ceasefire which happened between India and Pakistan?
See, if you trace the genesis of this whole issue, take the example of Pahalgam. JD Vance was here. It happened
Yes.
during his presence. Number two, our government put up 3 or 4 photographs of the terrorists. Later on, they withdrew that. They have not been nabbed. And we launched this Operation Sindoor. And we knew China would help Pakistan. And we expected America to use its influence over Pakistan or any mischief there. So the way the whole operation has been done, it leaves a lot of eyebrows wide open. This has been used by the Americans to put pressure on both the countries and say we have mediated, we have brought peace, and you should work together for trade, which is in the larger interest. And for the time being, we are also happy that you know we are assured that our strategy against BRI was not working very successfully. Now, if the Americans are there, American companies are there in a big way with Pakistan also, it will be a win-win situation for both India and Pakistan against China. Because Chinese, the Pakistani military also doesn't have very good relations with China. So in that way, if they find an alternative and rehabilitation of their ties with America, they would go along. The civilians would have no choice but to fall in line with what the military, which calls the shots there. So in that way, no matter what Jai Shankar says, the agenda is becoming very clear. It is trade, nothing but trade,
And
stupid trade.
so basically, the trading and what has also been exposed now with this Quad initiative of rare earth minerals is that the trade was for these rare earth minerals, which is why the ceasefire happened between India and Pakistan. So is it not very clear now when you join the dots that with Jay Shankar has been lying, Prime Minister Modi has been lying, it was only and only because of the rare earth minerals in POK and Jammu and Kashmir that this ceasefire was fructified. Is that what we say towards the end?
You see, if you survey the Prime Minister's visits to foreign countries, has he ever said that he is going there to help his friend Adani or Ambani? Never. But quietly he does the job, and we get to know after some time if the Haifa refinery has been bombed. We didn't know. After Sheikh Hasina's overthrow, we got to know, or in Sri Lanka or Maldives, so on and so forth. So you see, there is this hidden agenda of all leaders to promote their interest, to promote their friends. And Modi also is doing this. And it is understood when Prime Minister Modi went to America on 13th February. See, there was this unusual meeting, and Trump was upbraiding BRICS that it is dead. And shockingly, our Prime Minister did say anything. And we have agreed to everything. We have not contested whatever America has done. Very feebly, the Prime Minister did for the sake of domestic audience during the G7 meeting. But he has not openly challenged Donald Trump in a press conference that "Look, what you are saying is bakwas. It was we who arranged. We have no business of inviting you as a third party to arrange ceasefire or Kashmir negotiations, so on and so forth." And Now, you see, when the Chinese build a road link or any such thing on POK, we denounce Chinese investment there, saying that it is encroachment of Indian territory. It belongs to us. Now, if the American companies dig up there and plan huge investment, and if the Americans want opening up the LOC to travel the heavy equipment from this part to that part and enabling trade and all, we have no answer. So the government is preparing the Indian people that look, the deal has been done. Now through surreptitiously the Quad statement has come, which has nothing to do with rare minerals. It is American agenda. They are pushing the American agenda. So now the Indian government also is preparing the public that look, after some time, they will dig up mountains for rare earth minerals, and then they will need to cross on the other side of the border, and all of this will happen, and
But
there will
how
be
does
no
it work?
denounce. No,
Yes,
India will not denounce the American investment in POK as it has
absolutely.
denounced Chinese investment in POK.
Absolutely. And on a lighter note, can I ask you now that it's no longer India's Kashmir or Pakistan occupied Kashmir? It's an American occupied Kashmir now.
For all practical purposes, it is the American companies who will have a free hand in the name of rare earth minerals. What they will be doing against China or against us also, we may not know, or against Russia. It is like an open field. The skies are open. The whole thing is open up.
Pasha, there is another question, which people will ask, that if China could use its rare earth minerals as a strategic tool, why couldn't India think of it, think of doing the same? And India rather is spawning everything in the lap of America. Won't questions be asked?
Yes, of course, this is a legitimate question. It belongs to our people, our
Because it's
territory. It is
our
under our
resources.
control.
Why should it go to American companies?
This again shows what the government thinking is. You see, I won't be surprised from the Indian side. Government is not involved, but Adani's company is involved, or Reliance company is involved as a subsidiary to the American companies. So it is a joint venture. They will say, we don't have capital, we don't have interest, we will have Indian companies. For namesake, they may have smaller companies, but it may be Adani who will have a major say in this for the American companies to collaborate and all of these things. So
Mm.
it is bonhomie between America, Adani, and Modi government and Pakistan. They will say everybody will benefit from trade. America also will benefit, Pakistan also will benefit, Adani and Modi government, and Kashmiri people will develop. There will be infrastructure, good roads, and everything will be there. And your future is bright. But behind the scene, the future of China also is at stake, and which may engulf us deeper into the Indo-Pakistan imbroglio, Indo-China imbroglio.
Absolutely. So it leads to many, many questions. But yes, one thing is very clear, that in this entire sequence of events, you see how the ceasefire happened, how Trump insisted on a trade deal, and now you have the Quad countries signing on a critical rare earth mineral initiative, which is very, very clear that, of course, rare earth minerals were at the center of this entire drama which unfolded. And it has easily
Hello,
given it.
I'm
And now we'll
joining.
have see how all this unfolds. We'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Professor Pasha, for joining on Aged Up. Thank you.